Youth ill discipline is a global issue. It appears to plague some communities, and many have lost their way in providing positive intervention to assist the youth. Today's reality, especially for the younger generations, exists virtually. For many students, social media and other internet-based platforms are their world. Life simply cannot exist without it. Self-esteem is fed by the number of likes one receives after posting videos or photos. Popularity increases amongst peers for posting fights and other incriminating material. Students rarely think about the consequences of leaving such material out there, and in some cases do not care. In the past, such actions at Speyside High School would lead to firm disciplinary action as detention and suspension for students. But since the implementation of the Effective Schools Framework on Positive Behavior Management at Speyside High School, things are different now.
At Speyside High School, we focused on positive behavior management. We looked at the data over the last few years, and we saw a trend where there was an increasing number of students being suspended for various activities: fighting, gross disrespect, drugs, cyberbullying, and bullying. We also looked at apart from the number of suspensions, the general tone of the school. And we wanted to create an atmosphere that is peaceful, one where the students can participate or have a say in decision making, and one where we could reduce the amount of suspensions. Because of the high rate of suspensions, we had students showing poor academic performance because they simply weren't in school where we could work with them. So the school, I attended a few workshops hosted by UNICEF and the Tobago House of Assembly on the Effective Schools Framework in 1 year, and in the second year, several teachers attended. And we then formed a team and said, well, listen, this is something we want to implement at Speyside High School. We want to give the children a say in decision making. We want an alternative to suspension so that we can have the children here where we could work with them. We want to create a peaceful climate at the school. We want the students' problems to be solved in a peaceful environment. So after the workshop, we decided then and there, this is something we want. And then we began implementing it. We had staff meetings, and at the first staff meeting, the teachers, after hearing the presentation by the team, decided that of all our core values, respect is the one that we want to focus on. Respect for oneself, respect for others, and respect for property. Apart from the staff workshop, we also embarked this year on several orientation meetings from Forms 1 all the way up to Form 6, where at the orientation and reorientation, we spoke to the parents about what the Effective Schools Framework is about and why we're focusing on positive behavior management. We want to manage the children's behavior. We also want to teach them how to manage their own behavior so that there's some sort of self-regulation involved when they are met with different circumstances, whether that circumstance is in the classroom, on the corridor, on the maxi, in the school cafeteria, or even in the community. All right? And we began several initiatives, from putting up expectations in the classroom. We start teaching the children about their rights and their responsibilities. We talk about our core values, and the list goes on and on.
A walk through the school reveals this is no longer a project, but a new way of life for everyone on this compound. From administration to students to auxiliary staff, everyone is contributing and making a positive change to ensure these students understand there is a better way to live.
Students come to school on a regular basis, right? So So you don't know what type of homes they are coming from, whether it be negative or positive. So as a student council, we try our best to implement different programs and activities so that they can be more positive and more utilized in school, whether or not they do or don't have a subject. So in a sense, students are in the compound on a daily basis. If they misbehave, we give them positive work to do, whether it be community development, whether it be helping teachers with assignments or helping their peers with assignments. So it could be a betterment for them so they can know what to do.
All right, once we're here, anybody have anything that they want to say? Anybody want to ask a question? Anybody have anything to say? Any question?
The positive behavior management program entails putting structures in place within your school to ensure that positive behavior is celebrated and acknowledged and negative behavior is not. Right? It starts out with first determining what behavior you want to focus on. In this case, it's respect for this academic year. From there, you have a behavior matrix and a discipline matrix. Your behavior matrix would determine what behavior or what respect means in different settings. So in the classroom, when we talk about respect for oneself, you have to be prepared for class, you have to be on time and listen. When we talk about respect for others, so you give others a chance to listen or answer questions, and respect for property means you don't put graffiti and unwanted material on the furniture and on the walls, etc. So that was created for the whole school, a behavior matrix. There's also a discipline matrix, which would indicate the consequence and reward for different behavior. So if the child displays negative behavior, your discipline matrix would then tell you what is the consequence for it. If the child displays positive behavior, you would also have a matrix that says how to reward the child. So after your discipline matrix and your behavior matrix, then you need to teach the children positive behavior. Positive behavior, it is taught at Speyside High School under different settings, under different scenarios. Behavior is taught in the classroom. Positive behavior, what does it mean to be prepared for math, for physical education, for science? What does it mean to be prepared? And we teach it in the classroom by a variety of means. One of which is by putting up the classroom expectations on the wall. Another teaching strategy is putting up the core values of the school so it's publicly seen. So too, the rights and responsibilities of the child. So not all of it is done in the classroom. It's done out of the classroom. We have all members of staff on board. So we teach respect. We teach the positive behavior of respect in the cafeteria. It's going to be taught on the maxi. The transport for the children, it's going to be taught as it relates to the corridors. All members of staff on board because they are all charged with the responsibility for teaching the students. So apart from your matrix behavior and your discipline, you now have to do lessons for the children and creative lessons. Like I said, it's not just sitting with the teacher, where the teacher is at the front of the class and the child is sitting. It is done under we use a variety of strategies. Examples, we have our token store where each member of staff, they are going to receive 5 stars. Each member of the non-teaching staff, that's our safety officer or janitor, they are also going to receive stars. The bus drivers, the cafeteria, members of the Speyside community, they are going to receive stars. These stars are going to be awarded to a child that displays positive behavior depending on the setting. If it's in the community, on the transport, in the classroom. These children now, when they receive the stars, they can now redeem the stars after they have accumulated a certain quantity for different tokens, whether it be headphones, different tokens that the children would want, textbooks, stationery, a number of things that they can be rewarded with. If the child displays negative behavior, then the stars would be removed, and the child would then get a consequence. But in redeeming, when the child reaches a certain amount, for instance 200, then we have a pizza party at our movie town. So towards rewarding the child, we really want to emphasize the positive behavior and not place so much emphasis on the negative behavior. Reflect. What is one word you want associated with you? What kind of parent are you? That is important, because we have some strict parents. We have some very permissive parents. We have some parents who want to be the child's friend, and there are benefits and consequences to that. And I'm saying right about now, if you plan to be a child's friend, you ain't gonna reach too far. Love them, don't get me wrong, be strict with them, but be compassionate. So when they're hurting, you feel their pain. But when they come home and tell you, I want to cut my eyebrows into 3 pieces, that's a no-no. Good?
My basic expectation is for improved behavior in terms of decreasing the number of students coming to my office and improving students' behavior in terms of the positives, all right? So normally students would come to my office because they would have cursed, or they may have not done homework, or they may have been disrespectful to a teacher, and various infractions. So one of my goals is really to actually decrease the number of students who come to my office, all right? So in terms of increasing their behavior towards the positives, we would actually be, let's say we'll be allowing students to receive certain rewards for behaving well, all right? So the students will have these expectations that they would actually make, and in terms of, and I mean, because they are actually making these expectations, they may also have a buy-in, and they may also do whatever they say that they should do. And they would try their best to stay away from the negative crowd, and they would eventually not end up in the dean's office. Recently, we have held one of our first achievement days in terms of just specific students, all right? So we had like teachers, the form teachers pick out students who we saw a change in behavior, all right? So from this little activity, we have more students wanting to know how to be in that little capsule. They want to know how to get there. How could I be recognized? How could I, get to the principal's office and, have a seat and have a cup of tea or have a snack plate, and they all receive prizes and that kind of thing. So I mean, more students wanted to get into that little niche of things. So we also have in our student parent handbooks the various expectations. We had that normally, all right? But now we are actually highlighting it. We are highlighting it in terms of academics, co-curricular, and also overall behavior, all right? So as we highlight the good, we are hoping that more students would want to come into that realm. So with that now, as we're going to highlight positive behavior, we're hoping that more of the negative behavior will just eventually decrease. So also in terms of students coming to the dean's office, if they maybe have done something negative, we have students also coming, and students, they would hear what they are saying, and they would, use a student-to-student perspective to assist that student out of that type of behavior. So it's not punitive. It's more trying to change the behavior. All right.
My name is Giovanni Isaac. I'm 17 years of age. I attend Speyside High School. I'm in the class of 41. Things that I like to do, I like to play football, I like fishing, I like cricket, basketball, and I like doing AC work. So before that program you come along, so I used to get into real conflict and things. I used to fight. I used to get suspended most of the times. I used to be giving teachers back chats and all kind of things too. Teachers teachers more concerned than me now. Well, I was concerned all the time, but I never really used to listen at that point in time. So I started to realize what they're talking to me about now. And as me and them started to get more friendly, started to talk, no man, kind of thing. So I don't get in trouble again. Well, again, I look on to conflict. You know, I can't stop that, but I just more motivated to go to church and things now, because I just got church myself too. So there's advise me just to tell some of my partners, my friends, and them to come to church. And it's how they will see you coming to church. As leader, a group in school, a youth group. I just invite people to youth groups in my church and things. So the same way the program helped me, so I got able to help the other students who in conflict, who in everything else like that, not so like fighting and all that thing. Like I be able to help them there as the way he helped me. So.
My name is Darren Bascom, 16 years of age, live Roxborough, class of 4A1. I like to play football. Look at cricket. And I like to draw a lot. I like to art in school. Before this program started, I used to give back chat to teachers, sing on corridors, and that songs that are not positive to teachers. They used to suspend me, come back in school, do work, and as go class and do my work. As do a lot of work, do my homework, what teachers give me to do. Yeah.
So I went to a particular school, and I went there for 5 years. 5 years going to this school, yes, I had my disadvantages, I had my advantages. But to me, going to that school for 5 years, I would have accomplished my main goal, which was to get my subjects, so I did. But in my own opinion, the school that I would have went to in the past for 5 years, I was sort of getting a negative feedback from the teachers, the school, and the environment, and I didn't feel comfortable. But I made sure that I achieved my goal, right? So after completing 5 years in that said school, I transferred and I came to Speyside. When I came to Speyside now, I realized that the practices at my school would have had, Speyside High School didn't have it. So that is where my observation was struck. I was shook, so I wanted to know more about Speyside High School, because coming into the school, I observed the yard is always clean. There's always neatness, and the school, the uniformity, well, I like the uniform despite anything. And Speyside High School, like getting to know the teachers, getting to know the principal, everyone, the mindset of the school, the mindset of the teachers, they are more courteous than the school that I would have went to. But I find comfort in Speyside High School because I'm able to expatiate myself, and I can talk to the principal, I can talk to teachers. I feel most comfortable, despite the fact that I'm traveling a long way from home. It is worth it, and I just think that Speyside is a righteous school. If you want to change your character or your mindset, I think Speyside High School is the righteous place to be.
My name is Jidali Koto.
My name is Naomi Hector, and we are in 1A1.
The expectation in my classroom is good. We had to obey by them. We have 3 best teachers out of the whole school. And one of my teachers, she is there for we. If we need help, she'll be right there. We just had to go look for she sometimes. And it have 2 rules I really want to that smile from my heart and love myself. It have one special person who does not come to school for time, just come all 8, 9. And it have one rule we have that says wear a badge correctly. If you don't wear a badge correctly, you have to pay a dollar, and that is going towards our ceilings for our class to plan for a project. So that is basically the expectation in the classroom.
Just to add on, we have 11 expectations in our classroom. Well, just to name a few: smile from your heart, help keep your classroom clean, be respectful, and wear your badge correctly. For me, I really and truly just love my form teachers because we have 3. Sir Lynch, Miss Cook, and Miss Orr. Out of the 3, my favorites are Miss Cook and Miss Orr because they are always there for me. Don't matter what it is, you know, you could always go and talk to them, and they are really, really, really fun. So she could be on the worst side and they still talk to you really nicely. And really, the school, my part, I don't even know what to say, but this school is really good. That was my first choice, and when I heard I passed to Speyside, I was really, really glad because hearing that I passed to a school that I always wanted to go was like, yes, this is it. And coming here and meeting Sir Peters, he is cool, calm. Try not to get him on the bad side too much because you don't want to see that side. And really and truly, we really appreciate the people in the school. We really appreciate the people in the school. We appreciate all the teachers, the cleaners, the cafeteria workers, and we are happy to have them here. And I am really, really happy to be a student of Speyside High School.
These are the expectations, as we said. Everybody's handprints, their names, promise to, and we have 11 expectations here. This is my name right here. The wall where we can open ourselves and write whatever we feel, but good things. As we said before, 7 in 5, our form teacher wrote this. It means 7 subjects in 5 years. And we have a few: be a hero, not a villain. Be a positive team player, and some person won 12 in 5 years, so subjects in 5 years. So we're just going for it. And this here is the drawing wall where we can draw stuff and stick it up. Doesn't really matter. Well, it's supposed to have these 2 here. We have good artisans. And that's it.
So let me go back to level 1. Level 1, we took out suspension from many of the consequences and we replaced them with softer measures where the child would be in school, access to the teachers, but still learn a lesson from the consequence. So some of the initiatives, we have our juvenile court, we have our peer resolution, we have the in-school suspension, we have the student council, we have our peace room, which you would see shortly, where the children created that room. Previously, they used to call it the prison. It's no longer a prison. I allow them to use their creative freedom and design a room where they feel comfortable talking about their issues rather than fighting about it or other forms of indiscipline. So the peace room and all the others, they are just some of the other measures by which we use to discipline the children. There's also community service and something called restorative justice. which we also have embedded in our discipline program.
This is the guidance counselor office, which we call the peace room. Here we have the guidance counselor has a one-on-one conversation with you about the problems and issues you have in school. Or sometimes if this has fights and stuff, they bring them in here, put them to sit down, they talk it out and let you know the good things, positive things. Here you have like pamphlets, magazines. So if you're waiting to see the guidance counselor and she is with someone, has magazines you can read. Well, Miss was here doing up some words. Well, they used to call this the prison, I really and truly don't know why, but they used to call this the prison. They have beautiful paintings on the wall. It's calming to the soul, And this room, I've never been in it because I don't have no issues with the school. I just love the school. And that's basically it. It's really small, but it's peaceful.
Since this program has been initiated at the Speyside High School, I am very elated to declare today that there have been very noticeable change in many of the students. Predominantly the boys, there was a lot of problems with them, some behavioral issues, some just not being interested in schoolworks. And as you would talk to them, you'll realize that the problem, it ranges from a number of things. But having implemented the program and working with Mr. Peters, the principal, and his team here, we have been able to notice noticeable change. As of such now, the boys who weren't interested in class, and one would have deemed them to be corridor boys, hardly ever you would see them on the corridor. And if they are there, you ask, what are you doing on the corridor, sir or son? And they would say, miss, I don't have anything now. And those boys, you would find them opting now to go maybe to the art room, maybe to the engineering teacher, doing something, or even coming at the canteen to help in whatever way. Their entire character have changed. The way they speak to you, they would listen more, and stuff like that. So definitely there has been very positive change in the behaviors of many of our students here. And I'm grateful for that. And Speyside High School, definitely we are a family. And we would continue to work together to ensure that the world knows who this Speyside High School is. We are Mantas, and we are proud of that. Thank you.
I had a number of people working with me, my staff, teachers, parents, etc. And I thank them. And I see this program really creating and realizing its benefits in the not too distant future. And the benefits are students who are disciplined, students an improvement in their academic performance, the creation of a peaceful school climate, and also a climate where the students feel comfortable participating in school activities, and a climate where the parents feel welcome to come and support or even get their matters resolved in an environment that is student-centered. And one of the things I want to end with, the program is student-centered. All that we do, they are the focus of whatever we do. And I thank you.
Positive behavior management systems, peace room, expectations set by students, student court for the students, by the students, positive reminders posted around the school's compound are all changes being implemented here at Speyside High. And over a short period, the results are alarming, in a good way. Many fear change, but it has been embraced here at Speyside High, and all are willing to accept the adage, the only constant in life is change itself. Way to go, Mantas! You're setting the pace, and the rest will follow.